I was born in 26. 8 years later is my first recollection of the farm. My dad was a peach farmer and a row crop farmer, very successful. Now what I remember about Farm Bureau, they come to me and Dad about 3 years later where we was plowing corn, and they asked him to join this farm organization. Said, I think it's going to cost him $5. We've been involved with Farm Bureau all of my life that I can remember. It's been a tool that helped the farmers when they didn't have no other help. In '34, we lost everything we had. We had a $600 loan and we couldn't pay the interest on it. The guy we had the loan from told Dad, I can remember that just as well as anything. He said, Tom, I don't want your farm. Just pay me the interest on it. He said, I can't pay you anything. I've not got nothing. He got a $200 bonus from being in the service, and he bought this 40 acres with that $200, and we didn't have another penny for nothing. There wasn't no work. He raised peas, whippoorwill peas, and pinto beans, and turnips. That's the crops that he had. And his turnips, he dug a hole out in the garden, and he buried them turnips, and we had turnips to eat all winter. But we still didn't have no money. And he had the cotton crop the next year, and the boll weevils got it, and a drought, and he didn't make anything. And he caught a pickup truck to go to Missouri to pick cotton, and he left me and my little brother, that is Norman. When Dad left and went to Missouri, he left us without anything, nothing. And he worked out there all fall and winter and come back. But the thing I remember about that mostly, he had taught me to shoot. He'd got me a BB gun, taught me to shoot. And then he traded his fiddle for me a .22, which I still got. And I didn't have no money to buy short-range shells. And I went to a neighbor up there that lived up above us that he'd bought that 40 acres from. And Uncle Tom's what I called him. And I went up there to Uncle Tom and I said, Uncle Tom, would you loan me a dime to buy a box of .22 shells so I can kill squirrels for me and Mama to eat? And I never will forget him reaching in that back pocket and pulled it out of an old long pocketbook. He reached down in there and got a dime and handed it to me. He said, I'm gonna let you have it, Lord, because I know you'll pay me back. And we had squirrel to eat. When I was halfway through the 10th grade, I had a cousin in Oklahoma, Henrietta, Oklahoma. And he said, there's lots of work out here, Lloyd. If you want to come, you can get a good job. And I got a ride with one of my cousins out there to his place. And he got me a job the next day working at a Caterpillar company, washing parts, cleaning parts. And I'd had some experience as a mechanic. And I was making good money back then for the times. And when I come out of the Army, Dad had started in the lumber business, sawmilling. And he was working with the cousin of mine that had worked me all the time. His own cousins, close-knit family. And him and Orson was working together, partners. And when I come out of the Army, I was anxious to go to work for Orson because that's where I quit off. And I think Dad was a little jealous because that I was wanting to work for Orson. he said, son, I've got a little money, I'll buy me and you a sawmill and we'll start on our own. So he did. He bought us a sawmill and we started as partners. While I was sawmilling down there, the guy had a sharpening saws for me. I took him home and he had a good looking girl there. And I went to trying to figure out how to get acquainted with her, and I finally did. And I've stayed with her for 74 years. And she's worked right by my side ever since we married. When they started this chicken business, me and Dad was still in the lumber business. We was in it till we went broke. But I'd saw a pattern for chicken houses and deliver it straight through without going through the companies or anything. And I made money, and I saved the farmers a lot of money by sawing it. I'd saw the whole pattern out and haul it and stack it up for them to build a chicken house. And that was one of the best things that ever hit Johnson County, was when the chicken business come in. But I've lived on Farm Bureau. I believe in them. But the Farm Bureau as grassroots, it starts at the bottom, and the board members have the authority to send in their resolutions every year. They can go down to Little Rock and talk with them about them. It's the only grassroots organization that is a farm organization. And I really appreciate Farm Bureau. Farm Bureau and the Extension Service has been a lifeline for me. My opinion, Farm Bureau is the best tool that farmers has got. It's been a wonderful ride. If I had it to do over, I don't think I'd change nothing. Because what I've got, I know I earned it.